Joining us now is one of our favorites, not just saying that because he's listening to my introduction, but it's the truth. He's Kevin O'Connell. He's the reigning coach of the year of the National Football League, zooming in from Minnesota. Good to see you, Kevin. How are you?
I'm doing well, Rich. I wish I could have the blinds open or up behind me because it is a beautiful day in the Twin Cities.
Yeah.
You're missing out.
You know what? I'm an indoors person these days. I don't even know what it looks like outside anymore, man. You know what I mean? I just sit, I just work in and I just keep going. But wouldn't that be weird if I used your time to bitch about my life, Kevin? That would just be a weird choice of my minutes with you, don't you think?
Just know I'm here for you. I'm always just a quick phone caller in this case, a Zoom away.
You are the man. So what is it like to be in a draft with so few draft choices? Were you just like binging shows or anything like that? What were you doing sometimes during this draft, Kevin?
Well, it was actually good because I could, clean up some install tapes for the spring and
spring cleaning. Spring install cleaning. I had no idea.
We can do a complete playbook revamp.
Right.
Change things just for the sake of changing them. All kinds of time on our hands. No, it was good. We I probably watched the draft from the perspective of observation mode a little bit more than, active participant for some of those clusters of picks in between ours. But no, it allowed us to kind of really laser our focus and really identify some guys that if they were there, we were going to be very excited to get them. And that's kind of how our draft went with these 5 selections in addition to trading for Sam Howell.
How hot was the phone lines when you're on the clock 24th overall, Kevin? Before you went ahead and stuck and picked?
Yeah, I think Kwesi was doing a great job, and Rob and our folks in there kind of we kind of knew we'd be right in the mix there of potentially a team either wanting to come up and maybe select a quarterback, maybe another position, but we also knew we had kind of identified some players in a cluster there at certain spots that if one of those guys were there, it was going to take a certain amount of capital via the trade to even be thinking about moving. And we fielded some calls. We had some conversations and some good dialogue, and ultimately decided to pull the card and draft Donovan Jackson. And he was one of those players that we kind of went into it hoping he would be there and really see a role and a fit for him on our team that we're really excited about.
Well, after your team played its last game of last season, 9 sacks given up or taken in that game, Kevin, you said we just have to solidify the interior of our line, and you went and shopping at the free agent store in Indianapolis for a couple of interior linemen, then drafted first round an interior lineman. So, I mean, check the box, right? Check that box.
Well, I think it's something that, you really look at the way our league is, and it just seems like team after team are being built, not only along the line of scrimmage, but in the interior of their O-line and D-lines. And the teams that you tend to run into later on in the seasons, into the playoffs, they're going to have a real focal point of trying to affect the quarterback. And we feel we have and still feel really great about Christian Darrisaw and Brian O'Neill. Now, what I should have said in the moment, in the emotions of losing a game like that, is I thought our team battled to overcome losing one of the best left tackles in football for the better part of 10 games there. Having no Christian Darrisaw, had an impact on all of us. But Cam Robinson comes in and is able to kind of hold it down. We win 9 games. We kind of maybe didn't always see exactly what was going on because the results were coming and Sam was making plays and we were able to move the football, score points, and do the things required to win. But when I really took a step back and looked at it, have we really put the emphasis on matching how we want to play, how we want to impact helping the quarterback from a standpoint of all downs and all situations? Have we really invested in those interior spots? And I think we've had some good players inside there, but we really wanted to go identify guys that were fits with how we want to play, from Will Fries to Ryan Kelly to Donovan Jackson. And we still have Blake Brendel coming back who got his first exposure to really starting a lot of games last year as well. But it'll be a welcome sight to get Christian Darrisaw back. He's having a great offseason. And I think Brian O'Neill had one of his best seasons as a pro over on the right side. So a lot to be excited about with the Vikings offensive line, but we got to make it come to life, and just got on the grass this week for the first time, and we're pretty dang excited about it.
And that's the way I'm going to turn to your quarterback, since obviously that's a focus of so many in this league, and me in particular, because I love JJ McCarthy. You know that. I say it to you every single time I see you, whether it's through a Zoom screen or in person. What's he looking like? Your 2 cents, Kevin, right now on the grass.
Yeah, he's having a great start to his offseason program. I just, the journey he's been on from the moment that really before the injury, this guy comes in here, incredibly, incredible amount of energy and excitement for him coming here last year. And he was getting better every single day. The growth from day one of rookie minicamp, this time last year, coming up this weekend, last year, all the way through, his first performance in the preseason game, his growth in practice, playing against a really good defense every day. There was a lot to be excited about. As Sam was having a great camp, so was JJ, and that was a really good thing for the Minnesota Vikings at the time. He has the injury, Rich, as you know. Nobody was more crushed about that than me, probably second to JJ. And he really had to deal with what that was like to have the game taken away. I've got to focus solely on my rehab. I want to be out there with my guys. There's nothing I love more. And he had to really laser his focus and center on getting healthy. And he did that. He's able to attack the offseason once the season kind of ended and really be in this building every day. He's bigger. He's stronger. I can see it in his arm. I can see it in his movements. I can see just the ownership of playing quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. He gained a lot from last year, albeit not how we all drew it up. But he's already showing early on here. Today was our third day of phase 2 on the grass, but I think all his teammates feel it. I know the coaches do, myself included. Now can we just build and build and build and progress towards when we get our first competitive opportunity come training camp?
And that's the word, competitive opportunity. Sam Howell acquired you. You and the Seahawks essentially swapped Sam's. They signed yours. You acquired theirs. Is Sam Howell in competition with JJ McCarthy for this gig, Kevin?
Well, here's what I would say, Rich, is, right now the rules prohibit even Minnesota Vikings defensive players from lining up across from Minnesota Vikings offensive players.
Right.
So we would be imagining one heck of an opponent if we said it was us coaches standing out there as a defense, or some of the other offensive players forming a defense. That's not what this time of year is about. This is the learning, the teaching phase. So much growth and development can happen during this time when there's really no negative outcomes. There's no plays that don't go your way and have a real impact on the team. They're all just learning moments right now, but there's going to come a time where that changes, and it's going to come very rapidly and quickly here, Rich. JJ is going to be in a great position to assume and ascend in our organization. But right now, we really don't have any feelings on competition as much as we've got an obligation as coaches to put our players in position to attack that competition phase. Sam will be a part of it, but we've got to get Sam ready to play. We've got to get Brett Rippon ready to play. Brought in a really intriguing, undrafted guy from the University of Minnesota, and Max Brosmer, who will arrive this weekend. So excited about our quarterback room. And now it's our job to go coach them and hopefully have them playing the best possible ball that they can play.
So then let me take this swing at what you said a couple of minutes ago about how JJ McCarthy is owning being a quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings, if not the quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings. I don't know if that's exactly what you said, but I kind of picked up the spirit of it. How's that looking? How's it manifesting itself? You're standing there.
Let's just, I know everybody is wildly concerned about these reps on air. Let me put you at peace, Rich.
Sure.
When he is taking snaps, he's taking plenty of snaps from Ryan Kelly, who happens to be a 10-year starting offensive center in this league. So that is, take that for what it's worth. I don't think Vikings fans or any wildly successful, nationally renowned broadcasters like yourself should be worried about the amount of reps JJ is going to get with the ones. We're going to have him ready to go. And by owning playing quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings, that's footwork, that's rhythm, that's timing, that's running the huddle, that's running the show, that's cadence, that's identifying defensive structures that he's got to be responsible for getting us into the right plays. He's owning it, Rich.
Okay. Since you are a keen observer of franchise talent, I appreciate you using the word wildly in conjunction with successful when you refer to me, Kevin. Thank you for that. Really
You're very
appreciate it. I picked up on that. Very good. And speaking of evaluation, I don't know did you see Justin Jefferson's attire for the Met Gala, Kevin? Have you seen this?
I may or may not have already texted him and asked him because I've never seen him wear the same thing twice.
Yes.
So I figured that's just going to find a nice place in his closet. I said, when can I borrow the fit? Is what I asked him. And I'm a little taller than Justin, so hopefully we can take some of the air out of that thing. I like a little bit more of a slim fit, but apparently that's not in anymore. Rick, we got to catch up with the times.
Well,
but what a group right there. What a good-looking group right there.
I agree. It does appear, though, you are taller than him, but it does appear that there's room, that we don't have to let anything out. And again, your evaluation here, we were wondering who would be faster in a 40-yard dash, me in my dress suit or Justin even in that suit. If I ask Justin, and I will, this is going to happen, that he participates in my St. Jude charity run next year where I'm in my suit, he's in that suit. Handicap it for me. What do you think? Would he even be faster than me in that suit? Kevin, what do you think?
Well, I can confirm he would be faster, but I will say this to you with 100% certainty.
Yes.
I think you would look better. I would almost guarantee. Nothing against what my guy wore, and I want to borrow the fit just for the sheer entertainment, maybe in a team meeting coming up here, coming to a theater near you. But what I would say is I've seen you, the silhouette of you running is right off to the side right there. And I've always just admired your ability to have swagger, style.
Thank you.
And your form has gotten so much better, too. So Justin better be on his game. He better be running. But that I do imagine that parachute-like suit that he was wearing would at least make it competitive. It would absolutely be competitive.
That's impressive. Honestly, he's as we all know. What's the name of the place you call for him? The Freak Plays or something like that, right?
Yeah. We changed all those names, though, during the draft because we had so much time.
Okay. Touche, man. Touche. Yeah, I'm just thinking you're sitting there just staring at the walls. No, but I mean, at some point, though, during the draft, you must have been like, man, we're just waiting for something to happen, for you guys to get on the clock again. But congrats on everything going on with you, brother. Congrats on your contract and your long roadway there and everything that's happening. I appreciate the time, as always.
Yeah, always enjoy it. Huge fan of yours, and look forward to seeing you soon.
Thanks, pal. Right back at you. That's Kevin O'Connell, the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, getting ready to borrow the fit from Justin Jefferson.
He should rock that the first day of training camp.
Oh, my God. Just come out.
Walk, all the teams sitting there. Here comes Coach in Justin's suit.
That'd be great. Come on out.
Come on out, Coach.
And then he'll just go, what?
And not even acknowledge it.
Right? You know what I mean? Like what? What do you mean? Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.